Are you aware that there was a census that was conducted in Nigeria in 1962, and another census was conducted in 1963? Are you aware of that? Now watch this video to the very end so that you will know how it went, okay? And then share this video so that other people will know that the census that has been conducted before in Nigeria. The first census that was conducted in Nigeria was the one that was done in 1953-54, that was conducted by Britain when they were still colonizing Nigeria. And then the next census that was conducted came a little 10 years later. The first census that was conducted by Nigerians, okay, is the one done in 1962, just 2 years after independence. And then this census, the leader of the census board at that time was a British guy known as J.J. Warren, okay? And then this guy was the leader of the census board. And then he conducted the census, and at the end of the exercise, which cost about 1.5 million pounds in those days in 1960, at the end of the census exercise, what actually happened was that the figures of the north was put at around 22.5 million people in total. And then the figure for the south including the west and the east, was put at about 23 million people. And then that brought Nigeria to a total figure of about 45.5 million people in 1962. But then the way it happened was that the leader of the census board, Mr. J.J. Warren, rejected the figures of the east, rejected the figures of the south, that the south is about 23 million in number. And then what actually happened was that these figures were not officially, it was never officially published, okay? But then in closed circles, reportedly, some people reported that when these figures were shown to the Sardonia of Sokoto, like, the premier of the northern region, when the figures were shown to him, he tore up the book. He tore up the paper because he was upset with the figure, and then he rejected those figures. And also, the leader of the census board also rejected the figures for the south because it was shown that the south was slightly more in population than the north. And then the whole exercise was cancelled, and then another census was conducted in 1963. And this time around, the population of the south, okay, or rather the population of the north was tagged at about 30 million people, somewhere a little below 30 million. And now the total figure of the country was left at about 55.6 million people in 1963. Now, how can you move from 45.5 to 55.6, growing 10 million people in a space of 1 year? I don't know how possible that was, but that was the case in those days in 1963. We showed that the north was slightly, larger and bigger in population, not in landmass, but in population than the rest of the country. Okay, so that was the census as it was in 1963 in Nigeria. Know your history. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Let me come and be going, but I will be in the comment section.